Today, we are talking about the highly anticipated Avalino community. This is a new D.R. Horton community that started pre-selling to the priority list a couple of weeks ago. Models are not quite open yet, but it's very common for D.R. Horton and most builders to begin pre-selling in advance of the model's opening. Although it does seem like this community will be quite popular due to the location, do not get discouraged by the long interest list. I'll fill you in on all the details, and I'm excited to tell you about this one. I'm Jessica here with the Genung team and Real Broker. New construction, it's about half of my business, and I love educating home shoppers on the process of buying a new home and how it differs from buying a resale home because it is a very different process. If you'd like to sign up for my next webinar where I'm going to cover 7 ways to save money when buying a new construction home, that link is down below in the description and it's free. So why is there a lot of excitement around the new community Avalino? Location, location, location. I personally am quite excited about it because I could pretty much walk to Avalino from my house. I live in West Murrieta at the north end, and Avalino is just right over the Murrieta border in the city of Wildomar. Avalino residents will enjoy the exact same view of the Santa Margarita Mountains that we enjoy at my home, which I think is lovely. There has been a lot of misinformation circulating about this community, starting with the HOA. Is there an HOA or not? Amenities, are there any? And the opening date. First, yes, Avalino will have an HOA. I heard some folks say no HOA, but that's not the case. The monthly fee is going to start at $190 and go down to $165 at build out. It is common for HOA fees for new construction communities to come down like this because you have more homeowners paying into the fund as more homes are sold. This HOA fee, it's mostly going to cover community maintenance and HOA administration. There does not appear to be a pool or clubhouse. I asked if there will be a park, and my sales contact said he didn't know, but according to the master plan we've been studying, we only see retention basins and no parks. There is, however, an awesome park right nearby this community called Lower Copper Canyon Park in Murrieta. You can walk there from Avalino, but you will need to cross the Murrieta Creek, which often does have water in it. There is usually a resident-installed makeshift bridge, I call it, to get across, and I would love for the city of Murrieta to install a more permanent bridge one of these days. My boys, they absolutely love going down to that creek, and the latest thing that my older son has been asking to do lately is go crawdad fishing, in which case I normally tell him to ask my husband because it's not my thing, but they're loving it, and the crawdads, they are there currently.
Dang it. Crawdads don't like me. I say we caught 16 crawdads today. Today we're going to release them. This video is for counting just in case we got one messed up. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about timing and the wait list. Dates especially are always quite fluid with new construction communities, and we just have to roll with it, and I'll give you the latest. The wait list, it has been forming for some months, and there was a lot of anticipation for this community, so it did have a pretty long wait list, but don't get discouraged about it. I received emails from the builder D.R. Horton about how there were hundreds and hundreds on the interest list, but I was just told recently by the builder rep that only about 30 of them are likely serious about purchasing at this time. The models, they're not even open yet, and there will be 117 homes to be built here, so there's plenty of time to get one. With that in mind, I do recommend getting on the interest list ASAP so you can get in line and be in the best position to secure the home and site of your choice, like one of the larger lots or a cul-de-sac location. Average lots are usually easy enough to come by, but if you want one of the premium lots, that's when it's especially beneficial to get some seniority on the wait list. Let's dig into the lots a bit. My husband, Chris, loves what I call special projects. He likes to dig into the city planning side of things, such as looking up permits and following the occasional meetings for city councils and planning commissions. All of things which I'm not personally so fond of, and most normal people, I think.
Can a person be any nerdier? I can.
Anyways, while he was doing some digging, he found some great documents through publicly available information sources, including each lot size, so I'm able to easily look up which lots are the largest. Many of my clients plan to install a future pool, and not all lots will accommodate a pool. In all new construction in our area, the builders have to plan in advance which floor plans will be going on which lot, and this includes which exterior style and even the color scheme. These are already predetermined and filed with the county and cities, and I have not seen the builders be willing to change these predetermined plans. Apparently, there is a big process and hassle involved if they were to do so. Okay, so actually, I'm going to give an example, and this actually comes up quite a bit in my business. Let's say that you've identified the lot that you love, it's available, it has the floor plan that you want on that lot. Well, now we have to dig a little bit deeper and we have to find out the exterior style and the color scheme. A lot of times we'll get right to that very last step. Maybe it's even the exterior style, maybe you wanted the Spanish style or, you know, the craftsman style, whatever it is, but it has a color scheme that you do not care for. Well, that color scheme is also predetermined. So if you want a different color scheme, unless you're going to be changing it after the close of escrow with the approval of the HOA, then you are going to have to choose a different lot. It's kind of a bummer when that happens, but that's the situation. You may notice on the Avalino site map that many of the homes have an X next to the plan. Residence 2929X, for example. This means it will have a 3-car garage, the X does. The 3-car garage lots have already been predetermined by DR Horton, and that's not able to be changed either, I'm told. So if you really want the 3-car garage and you're looking at a lot that doesn't have that X next to it, you're going to need to choose a different lot. I did notice as I was looking through the site plan that many of the lots are including the 3-car garage. So that's good news because it seems like everybody wants that these days. Quick tip when buying new construction. As I always try to mention in my new construction videos, please remember to take your agent with you the very first time you visit a new construction sales center to tour the models. If you do not, the builder will often not later allow you to have independent representation, or they will not pay your independent representation, I should say. But instead, you will likely be working with the salespeople who are the employee of the builder. Getting back to Avalino and our research, Chris was doing his digging and found something interesting in the master plan. He was able to see that there is a plan for Washington and Palomar Road to connect with Jefferson Road. Currently, Jefferson Road dead ends at another nearby neighborhood called Grizzly Ridge. Here is what it looks like now and how we interpret this drawing that shows this road potentially connecting to Washington and Palomar, not far from the corner of Starbucks Circle and Palomar, which goes into Avalino. This connection would make Avalino much easier to access, and it will be easier for residents to travel south to get to the freeway and all the businesses off Jefferson Road, which is a major street that runs through West Murrieta towards Calmia and Madison in the heart of the city. Jefferson Road actually runs all the way through to Old Town Temecula. So that sounds like a great plan. It's hard to picture exactly how this road is going to cut through the current hills, as there is a lot of elevation changes there and undulations, but according to these public records and drawings, it's apparently in the works. That is another nice thing about living so close by, is we will be the first to see anything like this that happens. You will see the community of Avalino wraps around this parcel here, and you might be wondering what it is. It's a church, a really beautiful church called Murrieta Springs. It's Seventh-day Adventist. They also have a K-8 school there as well, and there's an open space in front of that church that appears to be zoned commercial. While I have not attended Murrieta Springs, our home church is located right up the road in Wildomar, and there is a strong community of faith here if that is something you are looking for. I'm happy to give you my 2 cents on the churches that I do have experience with. But let's get back to the Avalino location and how it all lays out currently. The current Palomar Road, Washington Avenue, if you head south, you're gonna reach the Ralph Shopping Center, and right across the street from that is a large apartment community project that's in the works, under construction, so that area is going to get busier. Beyond that is downtown Murrieta, which has some really great shops and restaurants. We go down there a lot. If you head north on Washington Avenue, you have great access to shops and restaurants off of Clinton Keith Road. It's a little hidden gem in the area, if you ask me. Some of the highest end neighborhoods in the area are located off of Clinton Keith Road, including La Cresta, which is an equestrian community, and Bear Creek, which is a guard-gated Jack Nicklaus golf course community. You also have Copper Canyon and other neighborhoods right around the corner. Because of these surrounding communities, there are some particularly nice restaurants and stores off of Clinton Keith Heath Road, in my opinion. I highly recommend Angelo's and Trocino's if you like Italian. Finch has an awesome atmosphere, and my favorite bar with great food is the Hive. Let's talk about pricing. Prices start in the high 600,000s and they go up to 770,000 approximately for the multi-gen model, which we'll get into shortly. The models, they are scheduled to open mid to late July and they're well underway. If you want to tour these plans before the models open, just let me know and I can meet you at one of the other D.R. Horton communities in our area that has the same plan. D.R. Horton recycles many of their plans throughout their various communities, and they are named after the square footage. At Avalino, they have 5 floor plans. One is a single story and the other 4 are 2 stories. The second largest home, called the Residence 2929, is the multi-gen plan, which is the home within a home that has its own kitchenette. It has a separate living room, a stacker washer dryer, and its own private entrance. These multi-gen homes are super popular for those who have older parents that are living with them, or parents that are maybe making a plan for the parents to come move in with them. I think these multi-gen homes are going to be a pretty good investment because as the baby boomers age, I think more and more people's parents are going to be moving in with them, and they can be very comfortable in the multi-gen plans. 3 of the 5 floor plans are currently models that are under construction at Avalino. And just a little tip, since 3 are modeled, that means that they will not have on site 2 of the floor plans. And in my experience, the plans that are not modeled often have the best opportunity of getting a good deal. Lots of home shoppers fall in love with the razzle dazzle of the models and they get their heart set on those plans, and we are just visual creatures, let's face it. But if you are open to touring the non-modeled plans elsewhere, or touring one of those homes that is a production home and under construction, and you can use your imagination a little bit, in my experience, that's where I see the really good deals. And oftentimes the non-modeled homes have very solid floor plans that are able to be sold by the builder without there being a model. We will be there as soon as the models open to the public, but in the meantime, let's work with what we can. We're also going to be sending out information about the models opening in our weekly email newsletter. I have a link for that down below in the description if you want to sign up for that. D.R. Horton, they have already had one Saturday where they had a few hours where they were touring the models that were under construction, and I heard that there's another one recently coming up as well. So they are allowing some tours when they're either on site or we need to make an appointment. Okay, let's keep going. Wildomar is a newly incorporated city. If you want to learn more about what the city of Wildomar is like, check out a video that I made last year called What's Up with Wildomar, where Christina and I break it down for you. Christina on our team lives in Wildomar, and I, as I mentioned, live super close to the Wildomar border, and it was a fun video if you want to learn more about the area. Wildomar is a smaller town and relatively recently incorporated in 2008 and does not have its own school district. The school district is currently Lake Elsinore Unified School District, and D.R. Horton is saying that these will be the schools. But that is subject to change like all school zoning. So just know that as of the making of this video, Avalino is in Lake Elsinore Unified School District and not in Murrieta, although some of the Murrieta schools, like the elementary school, is closer in proximity, so I don't want you to be confused about it. Property taxes are typical for new construction and are around a total of 1.9%, which is on the higher side for our area. The newer the home, typically the higher the property taxes, and that is the trade-off for new construction in our area. I have several videos explaining property taxes if you would like to learn more. Last time I spoke with the Avalino sales rep, they were offering some great incentives. I don't want to get too specific because they've already been changing in just the couple of weeks that they've been pre-selling, but I will give you some examples of what they were offering. The most recent one was that they were offering a buyer forward rate commitment of, I believe, you have to qualify credit-wise, but they were going to guarantee you for the homes that were closing in the first and the second phase, which I believe was September, around September or so. So it was only for the homes that were closing pretty soon, that are already, almost done. It was a 5.99% for conventional loans, and I think for government loans for FHA and VA, I believe they were offering 5.5%. And then once that offer expires, they might buy D.R. Horton because they're a very large builder and they do often do these bulk rate buy downs, but they are kind of first come, first serve. Once they're gone, but they may buy another one. We'll just have to see. Another promo that they were doing was 2.5% of the base rate, and then I think they were offering an additional $7,500 to buy down the rate. So, but they actually said that the buyer forward rate commitment was going to be a better deal than the 2.5% plus the $7,500. So you just kind of have to weigh the numbers. But regardless, D.R. Horton normally does have really great incentives because they're such a large builder. They own their own mortgage company. They have a lot of capability for getting lower than market interest rates. Last I heard, the earnest money deposit was only $5,000, which is lower than most builders. So that's the check that you come in with to take the home off the market, and then you pay the balance of it normally about a week before closing. So that's a low earnest money deposit. In resale, it's normally 1 to 3% of the purchase price. So D.R. Horton, a couple of the builders have particularly low earnest money deposits, and that's the latest that I heard at D.R. Horton. All of this information that I gave you, like I said, new construction, the whole process, it's very fluid. It could change. Reach out to me for the latest. Let me know what you think of it. We always love to hear your comments down below. We love to hear from you. Talk to you later. See you next week. Bye.